Hello and welcome to my solo trip to London and Portugal with me.
3, 2, 1.
I am very excited. If you're wondering why my hair is wet and I look like a wet dog, it's because this is the real me. This is real, this is me. I'm exactly where I'm supposed to be. I'm comfortable with you all now, showing you the real, unfiltered side of me. I say as I edit out all of my errors, my my likes. Somewhat unfiltered, I guess. This is my second time filming this because the first time I filmed this, I was like not great in the brain. The words that I was saying weren't all that helpful. This go around, I outlined a couple of notes I wanted to make. It's gonna hopefully be a little more succinct, a little more organized, a little more helpful, because my goal with this video is not only to just bring you along to see like how I plan my trips, but I also want to give you all ideas for one, what to do if you're also traveling to London or Portugal, but two, I want to help you guys if you're planning a trip anywhere, resources and things that you might not have known. Although I will say that the way that I plan my trips, nothing is groundbreaking, everything is type A, and I tend to be an over planner, and that's just my personality if you haven't realized from my other videos. Let's just get right into it. The first thing is figuring out where you want to go. The reason why I chose Portugal is because one, I'm traveling alone, so I was like Googling what is the safest place for a female to travel alone. So I made a list. I was like, okay, I'm gonna make another list of the best places to travel in May, and then I cross-referenced that list. And I was like, okay, Portugal seems like the best option because it's super safe. It was on almost every list that I saw, and then it was very close to top of the list for a lot of places that are like best places to travel during May. That was my thought process because I knew that I had a limited window to take off before my next project. But let's say you're more flexible than I am and you're like, I want to travel sometime in July. Where can I go? Like, you could literally just go to Google Flights, go like, I'm flexible, and choose your dates and then see what the cheapest places are. That's also a way that you could do it, and then just go to the cheapest place that you feel like you want to. And again, because I'm traveling alone, I have more flexibility in where I want to go. If I was traveling with someone else, they might have differing opinions. I've always wanted to go to London. Like, I've always been a London girly who loves One Direction and loves the accents there. So I was like, I want to go to London. Let me see what the prices are. Going from where I live to Portugal, the round trip was like $850, and then going from where I live to London was like $550, and then a trip from London to Portugal was like $100. So I was like, oh, it's cheaper for me to go to London and then fly to Portugal, and that way I could kind of double dip, see London and Portugal in one trip. So I would recommend if you're like, oh, I want to go to a couple of different places, or if you're just like looking for flights, it might be better to fly to like a bigger airport and then fly from that airport to your final destination. That's how I chose my flights. When I was choosing my flight between London and Portugal, I was like, I need to make sure about baggage fees because those can sneak up on you, especially for flying like a cheaper airline like Ryanair or like Spirit or like wherever. Like, the baggage fees on those, if you don't read the fine print, end up costing you more than if you were just to fly directly or fly like a more expensive airline. But luckily, the airline that I'm traveling from, it doesn't have any baggage fees. For the luggage sizes I'm bringing, I am planning to bring just a backpack and then a carry-on. We'll see how that actually goes when I get to packing. That is my intention right now. Because I'm an over planner, it makes sense that I'm an overpacker. So we'll see how that actually turns out. The next thing I do is I create a spreadsheet because I'm an over planner, and you know where over planners live? In spreadsheets. Create a budget. Traveling can be a financial decision. For me, I have to plan for it and I have to save for it. To be honest, because I haven't taken a lot of time off, I have a decent amount saved up, and so I had a travel fund that I can tap into. This is like my one trip that I'm like, I just want to have fun. I don't want to have to think about anything. I know I'm in a very privileged position because I don't really have to worry about it. For someone who's like, okay, I only have like this amount of money to spend on travel, there's a different mentality behind that. And like I said, if I were in that position for finding where I'm traveling to, I would choose like I want to go around this time for my flight and then choose the cheapest flights. Or because sometimes like the cheapest flight doesn't mean that the accommodations and the cost of living there is cheaper, choose a cheap place to go. Choose a place that has a lower cost of staying and living, because food and accommodations honestly will be more than your flight. So you just kind of be mindful of the balance. There are other things that you can do in terms of your trip to make it cheaper. So like staying in a hostel instead of a hotel or Airbnb, cooking instead of eating out all the time. It depends on the length of your trip and where you're staying, but like that's an option. I'm not that type A to where I would calculate every single little expense I will have. I kind of just did rough estimates. For housing, I think roughly it'll be $100 a night. And then food, I said it'll be maybe like $50 a day, which I think is a undershoot. And then transportation, $30 a day. If you're traveling with other people, food and transportation will probably be lower because you get to split the cost. I really like food, and when I travel, I mainly travel to places for the food. I mainly look at the restaurants I want to go to, and then I'm like, what else is around there that I should be able to see? But transportation, I would say if you're traveling with someone else, it's cheaper if you split an Uber or a taxi. But for me, since I'm alone, I am guessing like transportation will be $30 a day. I plan to take the local transportation or walk when I can. And then gifts for people, I just estimated like $25 per person, and then the amount of people I will likely get a gift for. And then activities, estimated like $20 a day. I think most of the activities that I want to do are free, like just like going sightseeing and whatnot, but there are like tours and things that I want to do. Grand total is over $3,000, which gave me a minor heart attack when I saw that number. Absolute pain. I will give you guys an update at the end of my trip to see how much I actually spent and see where it stacks up. What surprises me is that I used points for my big flight from where I live to London. So like the $3,000 doesn't even account for that. I'm concerned for my financial well-being after this trip, quite honestly. If I want to save money while I travel, there's a bunch of ways to do that. Like you could choose cheaper modes of transportation, you could walk a lot of places, you could not buy gifts, you could spend less on food a day and less on housing. Like for me, it's just because I haven't taken a trip like this in a while, I just want to live comfortably. Which brings me to my next topic, which is choosing a place to stay. I was torn between like, should I get a hotel? Should I get a hostel? Should I get an Airbnb? I decided on an Airbnb because that way I have more privacy. To be honest, the private rooms in a hostel were like $200 a night, and I was like, thank you, I cannot afford that. I appreciate the offer, and I was so surprised. I was like, I didn't think that they would be that expensive, but ideally for me, I would like my own room, because if I'm on a vlog, I'm not trying to be embarrassing like that, but I will be vlogging in public, probably, hopefully, if I'm confident enough in myself. Paying $200 a night for a private room in a hostel, like I might as well just get an Airbnb. I wanted a private bathroom, but like most of the places that I found would be a lot more expensive, or it'd just be like my own place. I also wanted the opportunity to meet people, so I decided on an Airbnb that had multiple bedrooms I could share with other people, so I could like maybe meet someone. If you are looking for a hostel, I would say that Hostel World is a good site to look at. I have heard that you should not get a hostel that's rated lower than an 8.5 on that site. But for Airbnbs, how I searched it is I just looked at all the activities that I wanted to do, and then I just found an Airbnb around that area. And then I look at reviews, be safe, be smart. If it looks too good to be true, probably is. I want to choose a place that I can walk around in. Transportation is expensive, so I want to cut down on transportation costs as much as I can. Because I'm traveling to multiple different cities around Portugal, I broke it down into like where I'm staying on which dates, and then I made different wish lists because I have analysis paralysis, so I just save the listings that I like, and then I look at it later, and then I book it. Still haven't actually booked my days yet, and I'm leaving in less than a month. And every time I tell it to someone, they look at me like they're concerned for my sanity. They should be, because why haven't I booked anything yet? To find out the neighborhood I wanted to stay in, I looked at what activities I wanted to do. I feel like this one's pretty self-explanatory. I just made a list of the things that I wanted to do, and I was like, okay, I want to go to Sintra, I want to do a cooking class, I want to eat Portuguese egg tarts, I want to try Portuguese curry, I want to go to a beach. And those were like my 5 things that I was like, those are the things that I want to do. I also looked at Instagram, great place. TikTok, I'm not on the TikTok, but if you are, also a great place to get recommendations. I looked at blogs. I honestly use blogs pretty often of like, okay, I'm spending 10 days in Portugal, I want to hit these places. Let's see how like other people have done it. And you could honestly just follow their itineraries and not make one yourself. YouTube videos. Google My Maps is my best friend right now. Sorry to my actual human friends that are watching this. My Maps is just so useful. I'm currently editing and I totally forgot to actually say what My Maps is. My Maps is an app that you can use to bookmark different things and save places when you're planning. So you can search up a place that you want to go, save it, and then add like a little icon or change the color of your tags to better describe what you're saving. Oh, I saw this place, I want to save it, and then you can download it when you're there offline, and then you can just like navigate around. So useful. And you can do different tags. So like, here's My Maps. I color coordinated this quite a while ago, and I don't remember what the colors mean. I'm gonna have to figure that out later. I used to be the type where I would say like, okay, day 1 I'm going to do this, this, and this. Day 2 I'm gonna do this and that. But But now I don't care anymore. I don't know if it comes with age or just general ennui, but I'm just like, I will just get there. I will hopefully have a place to stay and I'll figure out my day-to-day. I will likely do like rough estimates so I'm not just walking back and forth like the whole time. Especially for like places Algarve and Sintra. Those are places where I'm just like, I plan to just aimlessly walk around and sit on a beach. I get there, I'm like, I just want to stay at a beach all day. I'm gonna do that. And that's honestly a pro of traveling alone, is that you can do whatever you want. If I want to stay at my Airbnb the whole time, I could. If I was with someone else, I'd probably feel obligated to do what they wanted to do or go out. To advocate for traveling alone, I just want to say, I've never done a multi-week trip alone, so this will be my first time, and I'm definitely going to show you when I do it, all the pros and cons of it. Pretty excited. I'm kind of scared. I'm a little nervous, but those are all good things. I feel like that just means that I'm growing as a person. As cliche as it sounds, I feel like I won't feel like I'm actually alone because I'll be bringing you all along with me. Yes, I know, cliche YouTube. I'm not even a real YouTuber. I'm just a girl with a phone and a microphone. That's my trip. That's all I have so far. Like I said, I haven't booked any of my Airbnbs yet. I hope to do that by the end of this week, just so people stop looking at me and questioning my life choices, because I do that enough. These are random thoughts. Feel free to just like skip this because you're not going to get any information out of this. How am I going to get pictures of myself while I'm traveling alone without bringing a tripod? Because I'm not going to bring a tripod. It's heavy, it's bulky, I don't want it. How is that gonna happen? I don't know. We'll figure it out. I will let you know when I know. Lastly, I just want to shout out to one of my subscribers / commenters. Thank you, Hannah, for recommending places to see. I will be looking at your recommendations, and I'm definitely gonna go to Sintra. I'm definitely gonna go to Porto. Honestly, I probably will likely not be going to Douro because I'm not a huge wine person, but I will be drinking Portuguese wine because I heard that is a good thing to try. If anyone has any recommendations, I do take them sometimes. 2 for 3 for that one. Sorry, Hannah. To give you all a quick little rundown of what I'm actually planning to do. Right now, I'm planning to spend my first 3-ish days in London. I'm gonna fly from London to Lisbon and then take a train from Lisbon to Porto and spend 3.5-ish days there. And then I'm going to go from Porto to down to Sintra, probably like a day there. And then from Sintra to Algarve, I'll be there for like a couple of days. And then from Algarve, I will go back up to Lisbon and then fly out from Lisbon back to London and then back to home. The reason why I planned it out like this, first I started with like, I'll go to London and then Lisbon because I don't want to travel so much on one day. I will stay in Lisbon for a couple of days and then go to Sintra, Algarve, and then Porto, and then back to Lisbon. Quite honestly, it was the Airbnb fees, the cleaning fee, and whatever other fees they throw on, I have to pay regardless of how many nights I stay there. So I'm like, I might as well just block it so I stay there and pay all the fees once. Some people like to just go to a place, figure out the accommodations when they get there. I have a stick too far up my butt to be that type of person, so I like to plan roughly what I'm gonna do. I don't have specific activities, but I will have that hopefully soon, and I don't have anything booked, but I hopefully will have that soon. Thank you all so much for watching. I hope you got something out of this and you learned something and this was helpful to you in some way. I will take you all along on my trip when I get there. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Like, comment, and subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you in the next one. Bye! I don't know why I said that so high-pitched. Bye! Project. Ooh, sorry, I did not mean to scratch you. Here's the thing, my brain is melted. I can't really form sentences all that well right now. Whoa. My parents, my brother, my niece, my cousins. So we're at 10. And then friends. It's like 12. I'm honestly considering buying one of that. I'm considering buying those. I'm considering buying one. Literally gives me scoliosis more than I already have. These prices are nutty. Is it bad that I'm like, is my Airbnb host cute? Like, wouldn't that be such a good meet cute? Like, oh, I traveled and then my Airbnb host was cute and that's how we fell in love. I'm not an easygoing person, but I'm not an easygoing person. I trust the internet more than I trust most people. And is that a fault of myself? Maybe. What am I talking about? Okay, sorry. I need to focus. Am I dumb? That's it. That's the whole statement, actually. Oh my gosh.